Hi, I am Rebecca Barton, and this is my Module 1 presentation. So first, just a little bit about me. I was born in Oklahoma, which means I am a big Oklahoma Sooners fan. And then after I graduated high school, I attended Friends University in Wichita, Kansas. I went there for 4 years, where I graduated in 2013. I then got married in October of 2013, right after starting my first teaching job. I've been married to my husband, Alan, for 5 years. We have two kids together. So we have Paige, who will be 4 in March, and then we also have little Mr. Henry, who will be 1 next month. Those are just pictures of my family. So the top picture is my husband and I, and then the bottom is my two little kids. I started my master's degree in January of 2018, and as long as things stay going the right direction, I should finish and be done with my last class in June of this year. Like I said, I got my first teaching job right after I graduated college and started teaching in Hayesville, Kansas, which is a little bit south of Wichita, Kansas. I taught kindergarten for my first 5 years of teaching, and then this year moved to fourth grade. Big difference, big change in things, but I do have to say that I really am enjoying being in fourth grade. I work at Rex Elementary, which is one of the 6 elementary schools in Hayesville. It has over 500 kids in it. We have 4 teachers in each grade, pre-K through 5th grade, and we actually only have 1 administrator, which we can see, I can see at times now is super hard and super stressful with that many kids and that many parents and staff doing everything by yourself. Critical reflection of the SPED program. My district really has a strong SPED program. They are constantly using appropriate learning strategies for all students with special needs. They are highly trained staff, and they are constantly changing the way that they need to teach in order to better the students. They are pulling in different things for the kids to use in the classroom. They are pulling in different technology. They're adding extra paras and extra support staff when they need to. One thing that they do struggle with is they fail to communicate all of the resources that we have available. I had a student last year in kindergarten that had a really hard time holding his pencil. And after talking to some different people, I came to find that we actually had extra things like in our SPED room that we could utilize and use to help him. We had like a fatter pencil, we had some different grips, we had some different things in there, and that was the part that wasn't communicated very well. I didn't realize we had all those extra resources. But besides the communication, we really have a good program that is really doing what they need to do to help our kids with special needs. My personal understanding of SPED, I actually have very little understanding of SPED. When we have students that have IEPs or that are in SPED, they actually split them between the grades. So there's 4 teachers in my grade, and 2 of those teachers will have the SPED kids, and then 2 of them don't. I have never had a SPED student in my room, so in 6 years of teaching, I have never had to deal with all of the IEPs and the SPED and implementing different strategies to help them. Up until this year, I had attended no IEPs. I actually only attended some this year just because I'm getting my admin degree, and they thought it would be good experience for me to sit in and see how those work. I am extremely unfamiliar with IEPs and how to write them. I know what they are, and I know what they look like and what they kind of consist of, but I'm just not very familiar in them because I haven't had the opportunity to work with them. I do want to know more about SPED. I want to know how to make appropriate modifications for students when they come in my classroom, and I really do want to understand the SPED process better and what it looks like and what I can do. I feel extremely overwhelmed when it comes to SPED just because I feel like there's so much that goes into it. As a future administrator, I really do need to know more about special education and what is entailed in that, especially since I want to be in a leadership role. I need to know about that aspect. School improvement, really we have a good SPED program, and there's not a lot of school improvement I would do, but if I could, I would definitely provide additional training for all staff on how to properly implement modifications. I feel like that's something that is not done very well. The people that are in SPED and work with the SPED students are extremely well trained and know what they're doing, but then there's teachers like me that have never had to experience that and deal with that, and I truly would know what to do if I had a student in my room. I also think it would be good improvement in our school if all teachers got to experience how to work with SPED students. I think it would be nice to alternate years. So, like, one year, two teachers in my grade had it, and the next year, the other two had it. Um, so that way, the same people don't have to have it year to year. And I also think, as far as school improvement, they could work harder to incorporate them fully into the classroom setting. We have a lot of students that are currently integrated into the classroom setting, but I feel like that's one area that we could work better in, is really figuring out what we could do to help them get into the classroom setting. We can continue to provide the supports we currently have for SPED students. And like I said, my district is really good about providing what the SPED students need, and I wouldn't change that aspect. We have SPED paras. We have a communication disorder room for our students. We have a speech teacher. We have a physical therapist. We actually have a specialized PE teacher that comes into our district that helps work with those students. So there's lots of extra resources that we have that I definitely would keep in place. I do think they need to be better, that it would be better to communicate with all staff in building. I feel like sometimes that our students that are classified as special education, that not everybody knows about it. Like, the special teachers don't know what's going on. I feel like sometimes if a new para comes in the room, they don't know, and I feel like it'd be really important to communicate that about their needs and the extra things that they require. Funding, I'm not sure that funding would be a big issue for my plan, because we already have a lot in place for special education. There's not a lot I would change. I have a very supportive district. The funds are there when they're needed. If you tell the district that you need something for whatever plan you have, they're going to do what they can to get it for you. Our SPED is really already funded pretty well. So because of that, there's not much change in funding.